Hi, Ray here. It's great to see you. It's official. Nikon have today announced a flagship Z series camera to be called the Z9. So here I am in my pajamas to tell you all about it. There's actually not much to go on. We have a mock-up photo and a paragraph or two in the way of an announcement. To quote, Nikon is proud to announce the development of the Z9, the first flagship model for the mirrorless Z mount. Bringing together the most exceptional, groundbreaking technologies, the Z9 delivers the best still and video performance in Nikon's history. That's a confident statement. As rumored over recent days, it'll feature a, quote, newly developed FX format stacked CMOS sensor. It will have a new image processing engine and, of course, support for 8K video recording. Nikon says all this highlights their commitment to the professionals behind the lens. The Z9 is designed to help you create the most compelling images. For the rest, we have to rely on sites like Nikon Rumors, who have, it seems, got it right so far. Their latest predictions have included the newly developed high-resolution stacked FX sensor, and apparently there are 3 different sensors that are being tested. 45 to 46 megapixel, 50 megapixel, and 60 megapixel. They could use Sony's A1 50 megapixel sensor, integrated vertical grip handle, which I've talked about before. I'd prefer optional, but it looks like from the picture that's been released that it's going to be integrated. We've talked about blackout-free EVF, and Nikon confirmed that the Z9 will be better than the D6. 20 frames per second, 16-bit RAW option, 8K 30p, 4K 120. Now that's awesome. Again, as I said in my previous chat, 120 frames per second at 4K is something I'd use. Not often, but it would be great to use 120 frames per second slow-mo without resorting to a 1080p timeline like I do now. The new X-Speed processor will be designed for 8K. About the improved autofocus, Nikon has to respond to constant harping that Sony and Canon have beat it in that department, particularly subject lock-on and tracking. So they're talking about stunning autofocus tracking that will exceed the performance of the present D6 DSLR. 2 XQD CFX Type B memory card slots, and I'm glad that will be the case. ISO 64 to 25,600, high 1 and high 2. Improved noise levels and specifically significant better dynamic range, and I'm all about dynamic range as I've gone on about in the past. There's also rumors of a new interface with no second LCD screen on the back like the D6, and a new battery, the Nikon EN-EL18X or something like that. As far as connectivity, gigabit LAN, USB-C, Wi-Fi, GPS. Now, what is all this going to cost? Again, it's all rumor, but we're hearing $6,000 to $7,000. More than likely, the prototype Z9 cameras will be tested at the Tokyo Olympics this summer. I'd be happy to put one through the paces under my demanding use. Nikon has had to move fast, just like I have tonight on this announcement. Their competitors already have brought their equivalents to market, Canon and Sony. So when will the Z9 be on the shelves? Late summer? Fall? Going on recent rollouts, might it be winter 2021? The Z7 II is still hard to come by in some areas. It's just starting to be more available here in Canada. I'm okay with later, really, rather than sooner. I have some gear to sell and pennies to pinch if I'm going to buy my first flagship camera. I talked about that recently. I've never actually invested in a flagship camera. I've always gone for the prosumer cameras. And they've served my purpose. Again, I'm not 100% sure I'm going to buy in, but boy, I think this might turn out to be one of Nikon's best cameras ever. How far things have come since I bought my first Nikon SLR camera in 1981. In other recent chats, I've talked about my use case for 8K video, and I've mentioned the challenges already of dealing with 4K editing and storage. Even that demands powerful computing and a huge amount of storage. That equals more expense. Same for raw stills. Even my 36 megapixel D800 has its costs in terms of storage, and owners of the 45 megapixel D850 will agree. For most cases, my 25 megapixel Z6 is plenty good enough, but yeah, the temptation is to be able to pan and zoom, etc. on a 4K timeline, to be able to reset attention with those movements at 4K without losing image quality. These are future-proofing assets for sure. Well, that's it for me tonight. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my upcoming content. And thanks to all those who added their encouragement in the comment section of my last video. I'll keep you posted. Take care of yourselves. Good night.